Hello, everyone, and welcome to One Cool Blockchain, PC Mag's daily blockchain, where we blockchain the blockchain. Okay.
No.
Welcome
We're not doing
to
blockchain today.
Yeah. Sorry, I just have blockchain on my mind. I've heard that if you say blockchain enough times, money will just like rain from the ceiling.
Okay, in that case, keep going.
Yeah, blockchain. It's like Beetlejuice. Like I'm hoping that the blockchain ghost will rise up, chained by blocks, and throw Ethereum at me. This is Sasha Segan and Tom Brandt, and this is One Cool Thing, PC Mag's daily thing, where we show you things which we are testing in the PC Mag labs. If you are watching us on Facebook live, then please ask us questions and make comments. I don't really know that much about the blockchain, but I don't really think anyone does. If you're curious about the blockchain, maybe I'll get somebody else on another day. What we have today is a very cool thing, don't you worry. And if you're watching us on YouTube, please like and subscribe, no matter how you feel about the blockchain or about our cool thing, frankly, because we have something that is a lot of fun today. We have something that is, as I was saying before, extreme.
Indeed. So this actually, not only is it extreme, it's also rugged. And Dell, who makes this thing, calls it the Dell Latitude 7212 Rugged Extreme Tablet. They put both of those words in the title.
Can you kill a man with this tablet?
That's not part of our testing regime. So I cannot comment on that any more than I can comment on the blockchain because I don't know.
Okay. So getting to stuff we do know about, this is a rugged tablet.
Yeah.
And I'll have more fun with that later.
Yeah.
Let's go down the basic specs of this rugged tablet. This is of course a full Windows 10 PC.
We can actually connect the keyboard cover here.
Yeah.
And so the great thing about this, not only is this thing rugged, but it's fairly inexpensive
for a rugged device.
For a rugged tablet. Now, yeah. So I'll say that the starting price is $1,900, which that's a lot of money for a Windows tablet, but typical Windows tablets and rugged laptops cost $3,000 to $5,000.
And that's like your Panasonic Toughbook. That's like the paradigmatic ruggedized Windows tablet, right?
And the reason that we've given this an editor's choice, in addition to it being inexpensive, is it has some really killer features that you wouldn't necessarily expect to find on something that's designed to be outside in the rain and the mud. Okay. Starting with this screen. This screen is extremely bright and it's full HD, and it's a touch screen, which means that you're really not compromising very much on a screen you might get, from a regular tablet.
Yeah, in my experience with things like Toughbooks, the screen colors tend to be a little washed out,
yes.
And I really love the saturation on here.
Yeah, so like I said, it's bright, it's a touch screen, and Dell includes this kind of, it's fairly rudimentary, but it's a sturdy stylus that is not an active stylus, but you can use it even in the rain. It's pretty much the only way that if it's pouring down rain, you're using this thing, you can get it, the touch screen.
It looks like we already have a question.
What kind of waterproofing is there?
So this is IP76, I believe. I could be wrong on the numbers.
Maybe it's 67.
Maybe 67, yeah.
Yeah, we don't usually see IP7X devices.
Okay, right. So this is, check the review on PCMag.com, but it does have waterproofing. The way that I tested that was basically I went outside when it was storming and blustering. So it wasn't constant precipitation, but it was a mix of sun and rain. And I used this for about 15 or 20 minutes in constant rainfall. The touchscreen works fine with constant rainfall. Keyboard works fine. The touchpad does not. The touchpad, after a couple drops, becomes unusable.
You have the capacitance problem and kind of the touchpad short circuits.
And they get around that on the screen with this.
So what kind of processor do we have in here?
Okay.
What kind of storage?
Yeah. So basic specs, computer specs that you care about. It's a Core i5 processor from Intel's 7th generation. So not the absolute most recent generation, but still provides plenty of power for web browsing, entering in data in the field, things like that. It has 256 gigabytes of SSD storage and 8 gigabytes of memory.
And then, of course, you can do that.
Yes, I was going to point this out to you. Careful viewers will notice that it was inching closer to the edge of the desk here. Dell has tested this thing to fall at up to 4 feet. And we do know that this ledge here is almost exactly 4
Yeah,
feet.
yeah.
And it looks like it still works. So
Yeah, it works fine. And I mean, the screen is, let's see. Oh, yeah, no. So I thought there was some scuffing on the screen, but it's really just fingerprints. It isn't scratched. It isn't
I will note, however,
shattered.
that the port covers did pop open. So that's something that I noticed in previous drop tests, where pretty much if you drop it from that high of a level, even on carpeted floor, the tablet will split and these things will open here. But it's fine. I mean, it doesn't break.
And now our cameraman wants a replay, but let's take a question first.
So just to be clear, this is all the tablet itself. There's no actual like external case that all
Correct. No, this is, so you cannot, so okay, so it is very modular and customizable, but the one thing that stays, the one thing that stays is that this plastic covers
Butterfingers
and things like that. Yeah, yeah. This is actually great, not only if you're outside, but if you're Sasha Segan and you have...
I keep dropping tablets.
And you keep dropping tablets
Yeah.
inside. It's great for all uses. Basically, these like kind of picture frame covers, these are not removable. This is part of the tablet. Everything on the keyboard cover stays. The things that you can add and subtract to it are on the back. You see here what we have currently, the way that Dell sent it to us was with this kickstand. But you can also remove the kickstand and put on a vehicle mounting tablet or an additional mount to mount it somewhere else.
And now I notice a couple of other unusual things about this tablet that I want to point out. For one thing, there's 2 batteries.
Yes, so there are 2, it comes with 2 batteries and 2 battery slots. Additional batteries, I think, are less than $100 each, so you can have as many batteries as you want, and they're hot swappable, which means that theoretically, kind of like Air Force One refueling in the air, you could use this thing for days without ever plugging it in.
And now another thing I noticed is that both the front and rear cameras have privacy switches.
Yes, so, well, privacy or waterproofing switches.
Okay.
Probably both. Yeah, we are seeing more and more now laptops and tablets with webcams have these physical covers. Lenovo does this too. That's kind of more for security for the non-rugged ones, but for this one, if you're going to be outside in the rain, you probably want to close these.
Is this the fingerprint sensor here?
There is a fingerprint sensor.
Okay.
We have, again, the Pogo style connector for the vehicle mount. 2 battery slots that are easily removable. Here, I'll take that out so we can see. And yeah, these things are easy to swap out. This one is the 34-watt battery. And then we can show the ports.
Yeah, I'm super happy to see one of my favorite things on one of these PC demos, which is a port I don't understand.
Oh, yes.
I always love to know about new ports. These are the ones I do understand. Your headphone, your micro SD, your USB-A, your USB-C.
Here, let's go over here so we can.
Yep, but then, and then down here we've got
that
power.
better.
But here we have a weird port I've never seen before.
Oh yeah, okay, so this weird port here is the mini serial port.
What?
It's a mini serial port. You can tell by the actual, there's a logo on here. Oh, I'm sorry, there's it's this one right here. This is the one you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
The mini serial port. It's conceivable, I haven't talked to anyone who uses it like this, but it's conceivable that you might need to have a legacy serial device. It's probably what it is if you are doing this, like collecting scientific data or something, and you're connecting to a weather station or something like that.
Actually, there's some other stuff where I've talked to, when I've done some coverage of computing uses in law enforcement.
Yeah.
There's a lot of legacy systems in law enforcement, and the primary, the primary markets for a tablet like this, and yes, we will get to your question. The primary markets for a tablet like this are people like EMTs, medical and hospital, lots and lots of law enforcement at every level, from local sheriffs to police departments to the military, and field workers in things like the oil and gas exploration industries.
Yeah.
And all of those industries have very specialized legacy serial-based devices that you need to integrate with. So that's why you have that weird port. Let's take a question.
You had showed us the battery ports before. How did you mention like how long the battery life is?
Okay, so yes, battery life. We did not get to that, but I'll address that right now. If just one battery is charged, you're going to get about 5 hours and 45 minutes, which is pretty good for this tiny battery. When they're both charged, and installed, you're going to get a little less than 12 hours, which for this bright of a screen, that is really good. 12 hours of battery life for that bright of a screen is excellent.
Let's take another question.
How heavy is it?
Okay, so it's not the lightest thing. With everything that we have here with the keyboard cover, oh, the battery came out?
Battery came out, but
the
yeah,
battery
it's heavy.
is rugged too.
It's heavy.
Don't worry. It's 5 pounds.
Oh no, I'm gonna drop it again!
Yeah, so basically
Yeah.
that is 5 pounds right there. Removing the keyboard cover takes it down to around 3 pounds. Again, you'll have to check the full review at PCMag.com for that actual number. But yeah, all told, what we have here is 5 pounds. Sure, let's take another question.
Why would you get a rugged tablet as opposed to a normal, like much cheaper tablet, and then like putting like an OtterBox or whatever on it?
Well, since Sasha reviews tablets, he can address that while I fix the battery. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, it is for people in these relatively specific business verticals. Generally like this because it is even sturdier and less clumsy to use than another kind of tablet in a case. That these are devices that are going to be used generally over also like a 5-year lifespan. Stuck to the car mount of a car. And rugged devices like this tend to have also much longer and more reliable component reliability than your typical consumer device. These are enterprise devices.
And that's also a function of the components that are in here. I mean, like this is from the Latitude series, Dell's Latitude series, and those are just have, even if you got a non-rugged one, it would last longer.
The drop proofing is not just about having a big rubbery case around it. The drop proofing is also about how the components are arranged within the case and the bracing and assembly of the components within the case. So if you put an iPad in an OtterBox and you drop it, okay, that will cushion the iPad to some extent, but the internal components of the iPad aren't made to withstand that shock. So over time, you'll have a greater chance of damaging that iPad than you would with this over drop after drop after drop, where it's actually designed to be dropped.
That said, I just want to address though that there are plenty of rugged use cases where people and companies use iPads just fine. You know, for example, in pilots use them as replacing electronic flight bags. Those are usually iPads or Samsung
and if all you need,
tablets.
And especially if all you need is waterproofing. If you're just like, if you're like a real estate agent, for instance, who goes out in the rain a lot, and what you're just looking for is a water-resistant tablet, this is overkill.
This is also $3,000. An iPad Pro is $1,000. So
this is
there's
$2,000.
Well, it starts at $1,900. The version we have here is $2,600, but what it replaces as editor's choice, which is from Getak, it's actually not Panasonic, it was like $4,000. So it's still a bargain.
Let's take another question.
What type of gaming performance can you expect?
So this has the standard Intel integrated graphics chip.
The answer is sad.
Which means that you are not going to be gaming. And normally for tablets, we say you're not going to be gaming on a tablet anyway. You're going to want to go back home to your gaming laptop or gaming PC. That's especially true for something like this, because if you're out in the forest, you're probably not going to be playing video games.
Also, it's not very good. That means it's not very good for blockchain.
Yeah.
That blockchain.
It cannot mine any sort of cryptocurrency.
Not big on the blockchain.
Basically, like, okay, more specific answer to your question. You should expect less than 20 frames per second from this thing if you're playing a video game.
Yeah, I mean this is a tablet for getting serious work done in extreme conditions. Now there is one thing that concerned me here, which is the warranty. When I go and when I think about recommending a ruggedized device to people, whether it be a Sonim phone or a ruggedized tablet, one of the things I want to look at is how long is the warranty? Is it a no questions asked warranty, so that when my cop car in a high-speed chase slams into the stolen Brinks money van and, you know, everything goes kablooey, can I get this replaced?
So the short answer is Possibly, but you have to pay extra,
Oh.
which is kind of a downer, and that's a specific situation to the way that Dell does their warranties, but many other manufacturers do the same thing. Basically, they're treating this as a regular Latitude laptop. If you were to go configure this online right now, you would have the option of adding accidental damage coverage just like you would for any other tablet or laptop.
So I feel like if you're if you're taking this up to Toughbook specs, then you're getting a lot closer to Toughbook prices.
Yeah, I mean, and it would be interesting. I don't know off the top of my head how Panasonic does their Toughbook warranties. I'm pretty sure it's similar to this.
Oh, okay.
But basically, yeah, I mean, if you are buying this with the expectation that it is going to break at some point, you should plan on buying another one or getting this additional warranty because, you know, while it will be rugged and withstand some things, Dell isn't going to replace it if you drop it on a rock, you know, so.
One more question out there?
What's the best option for a tablet laptop in this range for an on-the-go and harsh day-to-day user? They currently have the Surface Pro 2.
Yeah, so this is a tough question. I mean, let's sidestep to hard drives for a minute. For hard drives, I recommend that everyone buys a rugged hard drive because they're not that much more expensive and everyone can use them, even if you're taking in and out of your purse all day long. With laptops, it's a bit different because these are very specialized devices, the rugged ones. I would go for something that is, not plastic. Anything that's not plastic. Lenovo has some great ones. The Yoga series are very well designed. And yeah, basically the two things to look for are not plastic and size-wise. If it's a smaller laptop, you're not as likely to drop.
I would actually start to lean towards the Lenovo Think series, simply because those are once again designed for enterprise lifespans, and they are designed to take, if not an outright beatdown, then they're designed to take some rough and tumble over those enterprise lifespans.
They are, however, I'm going to differ with you a little bit on that because most of those are plastic and you're going to see some scuffing on those, which I suppose you would see on metal anyway, but just, you know, materials-wise, I think the metal is better.
But the other thing about, and this is another issue with this laptop.
This is plastic, don't get me wrong.
And rubber.
And rubber.
But another issue with this laptop where, is that the enterprise product lines, enterprise laptop product lines, tend to have much cheaper and more accessible replacement parts.
Yeah, to the extent that you can replace the parts.
Right.
Many laptops and especially ultra portables are soldered, are
or
sealed
soldered.
shut.
Yeah,
You can't replace parts.
But like the more mid-range, more modular Thinks and Inspirons tend to be a bit more user repairable.
Yeah, not only that, I mean, and this is very user repairable, but it's not cheap. I mean, everything on here even the kickstand is $70.
Is this like a magnesium kickstand or something?
No,
this metal
it's made
is
out of the
awesome.
same material that the
Oh,
rest
no,
of
it's
it
plastic?
is. Yeah, it's
Oh,
just
okay,
hardened
okay.
plastic.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, the availability and the expense of components is another reason why you wouldn't buy this unless you're going to Antarctica or working in a cop car.
Any more questions out there? Great. So we gave this an editor's choice because of its combination of ruggedness and affordability, right? So this is the Dell Latitude 7212 Rugged Extreme.
Rugged and extreme.
Rugged and extreme.
It's both.
It's extreme. It is our editor's choice. The review is on PCMag.com. Whoops, there it goes again. Yes. So
We'll be back tomorrow.
thank you all for watching. If you're on YouTube, please like and subscribe, and consider coming over to Facebook at 10 a.m. on weekdays on PCMag's Facebook page to participate in the discussion. This has been One Cool Thing. We will be back with one more cool thing for you tomorrow.